Oh. I wish we had the words written out properly. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log.
Okay, the most famous chord in rock history. We're going to try to play it here today. First, I want to talk a little bit about the instruments that the Beatles were playing in 1964, starting with a Gibson J160 acoustic guitar that they wrote many of their songs on. John Lennon was playing that night. Paul McCartney on his Hofner bass. Actually, he liked it because he could flip it, play left-handed. It was symmetrical. George Harrison defined the sound for the Beatles in the 64 era with the 12-string electric Rickenbacker he received while in visiting New York City, the Ed Sullivan Show. And then, of course, we had the Steinway grand piano that George Martin played and the Ludwig drum set that Ringo actually bought in 63 at Music City in London. There's always been a question of what chords were they actually playing. But there's been some clues over the years. One is during an online question session, George Harrison mentioned that they were playing the actual F chord with a G on top. And another clue is that John Lennon, in opening the song in Paris in 1965, as you can see in this video, was actually playing an F chord with a pinky on the G note and his thumb on the first fret. So that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to assume that George and John did play the same chords. Plus there's some other factors as well. As you can see, these are the notes that George would have been playing with his 12-string, the low D3 note that Paul played on the 12th fret, coming in next is John Lennon with the same chord that George played, and then the notes that we're using for the piano. So equipment setup, we're going to use that James Tyler Variax 59 electric guitar, and it actually provides a serial interface to a multi-effects processor, and that processor has a human-machine interface that I'll use to configure some effects, going to a speaker sound to a line 6 sonic port, and then I have a digital audio workstation running Cubasis on an Apple iPad. Okay, let's try some effects setting up the Rickenbacker 12-string. We're going to use a Vox Class A30 amp, put in a tube compressor, and add some reverb. This is the Fender 63 spring. Okay, let's try some bass now. Again, adding a little the tube compressor, the noise gate, and then the shift equalizer to get that bass sound. Okay, the hardest one to get the electric guitar to sound like a Gibson J160E. I add some reverb, tube compressor, and some echo and equalization. Okay, great. Now I think we're set. Got the instrument set, so let's all head over to the studio. Again, we're going to play the 3 instruments audio using the James Tyler Variax. So I'll meet you over, building across the street. Just follow the flashing yellow arrow across the street. Be careful. Here we go. Okay, so let's start recording. We've got 5 tracks to record, 3 audio using the Variax guitar, and 2 MIDI tracks using Cubasis.
One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four.
And there you have it, both the Take 8 track and the Variax track without pianos. Okay, one final play of the opening chord. We're going to take the Take 8 track again. We're also going to add the Variax track that had the piano and see how that sounds mixed together.
One, two, three, four.